It's on. She's going.
She's going. She's going. Ooh. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome back, or welcome to Gals on the Pitwall season finale.
I actually can't believe we're at the season finale.
I know.
It's only been 6 months we've been at this, by the way.
Well, I'm proud of us. I think we've
Same.
come a long way.
Yeah, we have. And like not doing it for the last month while we've been busy with uni.
Yeah, we've been exam seasoning.
It's felt so wrong.
It has felt very wrong.
Even setting up now and like doing the laptop and pressing play and stuff was
Literally. I know.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Like a
But
bit
we're
scary.
back!
But we're back!
Woohoo!
And for those of you who are just tuning in now, I'm Jasmine.
I'm Catherine.
Welcome.
Yeah.
This is our fun little space on the internet.
Yeah, where we chat shit.
Exactly. And this time, we're doing it Christmas style.
Yes!
Whoop whoop!
So we have Abu Dhabi to recap on.
Yes.
Because that was right at the start of exams.
It was. So we missed filming that because we were both extremely busy. So.
But not too much happened.
No, it wasn't a really eventful race.
And then we're going to go over some end of season highlights.
Yeah, our highlights.
And our under £5 F1 gift exchange.
Yes, which for those of you watching the video, which I would recommend watching the video this week because
we
we've
look
got
festive.
a really good festive setup going on here.
Yeah. It's probably the nicest our setup's ever looked.
Oh, and will ever look until we get managers in a studio.
A set.
Yeah. But
Just, hinting at any... if anyone's watching that fancies employing us.
oh, get us on your roster.
Just saying. I will happily leave uni.
Yeah, do you know what? After this next semester, sign me off.
If you pay me enough, I will leave. Actually, don't have to, just enough. Like, it doesn't even... As long as I
Enough
can...
to live on.
Yeah.
Pay the
It's fine.
rent.
Happy.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did just watch the Drivers
Secret Santa.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
so exciting.
Better jump back to Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
God, get the notes back.
So
Just
to
taking
start off the Abu Dhabi weekend, there was 10 rookies who did free practice 1 and 2.
Yep.
I can run through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Red Bull, we had Jake Dennis and Isaac Hadjar.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mercedes had Frederick Vesti.
Yep.
Ferrari had Robert Schwartzman. McLaren had Pato O'Ward.
Pato.
Pato.
I know, I
sorry.
used to say Pato as
So
well.
sorry. Correct me.
I'm a Pato fan.
There we go. It's so difficult to know. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Unless you've heard them say it, it's so difficult. Then Aston Martin had Felipe Drogovic.
Yep.
Alpine had Jack Doohan.
Mm-hmm.
Williams had Zach O'Sullivan. Alfa Romeo had Theo Pacheri. And Haas had Ollie Behrman.
Yeah.
So we had quite a few rookies in free practice.
The only thing I'll say about practice is the practice with the 10 rookies went more smoothly than the practice with the
Yeah.
20 full-time drivers. So, I mean, it says a lot about the rookies. I feel like I had notes somewhere, but they're probably long buried
Yeah.
in my many ADHD notes on my phone.
I just noted down all of the rookies because I thought it was really interesting because obviously the teams have to run a certain amount of practices with their rookies.
And I guess they knew by Abu Dhabi there was nothing at stake at that point, so may as well chuck them all in there.
Put all of the reserves in. They'd already burnt the cars up enough, so
It's very
There we
interesting ahead of next season's
definitely.
total rearrangement when all the contracts are up to see which one of these rookies work their way in. Because a lot of them, so they've been in F2 this past year.
Yeah.
Obviously, so 201.
Yes.
So that's him out of F2.
Yeah.
But a lot of the
for
others,
those of you that don't know, once you've won
that's it.
F2, you cannot compete again.
Because the idea is to hopefully then get you into something else.
Yeah, into a different form
But
of
alongside
motorsport.
that, some of the others have also left because you also have to fund yourself.
Yeah, it's not like Formula One where you're backed.
So it is a lot of money to spend, and so a
Yeah.
lot of them have left. So I think Vesti's left.
Yep.
Also, interestingly about the F2 Championship, just a little fun fact.
Okay.
So Teo Pachera, he won.
Yep.
But he only won one race the whole season.
Insane.
And I think Frederick Vesti won 7, if I'm right. So that shows you consistency.
Is key.
But controversially, it means that Fred Vesey, he's the reserve for Mercedes.
Yeah.
Because he's shown more promise in terms of like high achievement, he's getting in with the bigger team.
That's true.
Whereas Teal's with Alfa Romeo, sorry, they're not
Yeah.
Alfa Romeo anymore. They're what was it? Stake F1 team Kick Sauber.
How do we feel about that, everybody?
It's so bad. Sauber.
It's not.
Everyone's
it's
going to call it
Sauber.
Sauber. No point in having title sponsors if no one's going to say them.
Yeah.
Sauber.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting. But yeah, I think Fred Vesey's left. Jack Doohan's definitely left.
Yeah.
I want to say there's others that have gone. But yeah, it's interesting. So they're all hedging their bets, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Jack Doohan or someone had offers from IndyCar and other racing series and had turned them all down.
He's really banking on.
I think it was Jack Doohan.
Yeah.
So he's obviously holding out and hoping
How
that he's going to
exciting.
pull an Oscar Piastri and get his way in.
It's definitely going to be a silly season.
Yeah. I actually do think that Jack Doohan will get his way in, but we'll save
I
that
think so. He's a good driver.
for pre-season predictions.
Definitely. Then quali.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Q1. Do you know what? I really didn't have too many notes for the whole weekend. I think.
Esty Bessie, he was ill.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he missed media day and
So
then
he
came back,
did.
but he was ill.
You're right.
Important note per Esty Bestie. The only important thing that really happened, or a couple of things in Q1, Logan Sargent. 2 great laps. Both of them, he goes out of track limits at turn 1. And literally his second flying lap, he was up in 4th, which is really the
Actual
best he's ever done.
heartbreak.
And I was screaming. I was like, yes! Come on! The arc of Logan Sargent, hater to Logan Sargent fan, has been severe this season.
And it's happened to us both.
Yeah, and I could have cried.
Yeah.
I could have actually cried. It was heartbreaking. I felt so
Bless.
bad for him. And he could have done another lap, but Williams didn't give him enough fuel in the car to do another lap. So he couldn't do another lap.
Very, very annoying.
And also Yuki was
Yuki, my man.
0.126 seconds behind Max.
He was in 4th. And do you know who was in 5th? Albano.
Yeah. What a season for Albano.
He's actually had a goodie, you know.
It has been really impressive.
Especially in the Williams. Like, everyone's like, oh, he's driving the Williams. But, like, they were quick this year.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they keep improving from this season.
Oh, I hope so.
Fingers crossed. And the other important thing from Q1, we lost Carlos. And that's so he had an 83 race streak of not being eliminated in Q1, and that was broken. And Charles was only in P10, which isn't shocking.
Not very good. So we were not hopeful for Ferrari that weekend. We really were not.
Yeah, and Ferrari kind of fucked Carlos. He basically went out too late because he had a front wing problem and he got caught in traffic, so it just knackered it for him.
Never mind.
Q2?
Nothing. I stopped.
I just had that Lando was quick. Oh, and that Russell knocked out Lewis.
Oh,
Which means
so he did.
that for qualifying this season, 11 apiece.
Is it?
Fun fact.
Lovely.
And then Q3. It was not really any. I literally Ferrari stink.
Yeah, there was nothing really too eventful. Like, it kind of just was a bit of like a repeat of the weekends we've seen throughout the season.
Charles said he thought he did a really good lap, but he was second down.
Right.
So.
Never mind.
And McLaren were looking like they were going to be the main challenger to Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And Checo had a big wobble in turn 1, which cost him loads of time, and he was complaining about drivability. And only 4/10 was separating P4 to P10 in Q3. It was very, very close.
It was a close one.
Oh, and Lando, another qualifying with another mistake.
Yeah.
He's doing a stunning lap and then he clipped the curb, lost loads of time because he had this massive wobble.
Not good at all.
So it cost him P2. Well, actually cost him... it's not the first time Lando's cost himself pole by making a mistake in that final fast lap.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
Yeah.
Lando. We can only hope that next season's better. This has kind of been his, like, incline season.
Yeah, so many P2s. A win has to happen, oh my god.
It's cooking.
It is cooking. It's also the first time Lando's been out qualified by a teammate in Abu Dhabi. And also Checo had a lap deleted, which demoted him to 9th. Haha. But yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for quali.
Oh, and Alex has beat Logan 22-0 in qualifying this season.
Which, do you know, like, with Logan being a rookie, it's like, okay, you could understand he would be worse than Alex, but then when you're in a rookie season with an Oscar Piastri, it's like, ooh.
Yeah. But to not even get him in one.
I know.
Because he's, like, been close to it.
He has.
Like in Abu Dhabi, but just not
I know.
making these silly
Bless
mistakes.
him.
I really hope he has a better season next season.
Me too.
I'm a Logie Sarge fan now. If he ends up not getting a seat at the end of 2024, I will cry. I've emotionally invested myself into this now.
Yeah. We're on course with
Love
him.
you, Logan. I actually debated buying Logan Sargent merch the other day.
I also did.
I was like, ooh, a wee Logan Sargent cap would be quite nice.
Right. Williams have a nice blue as well.
Yeah, I've been on the edge, teetering on the edge.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll Christmas treat myself.
You should.
The Grand Prix.
The race.
Admittedly, we have had to sit back and watch the highlights to refresh what happened because not that much happened.
No. And you will have to also take into account this was, 3 weeks ago?
Something like that. Oh, God,
At
it's been
least.
so long. It's been the longest 3 weeks of my life.
It has been a good while, guys.
So, the start, Charles and Max.
Yeah.
That would look so promising for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was like the first lap or two were like there were great battles between Max and Charles. Like they had some really good racing. Like it made the race seem so promising at the start.
And I'm so surprised Charles didn't get the overtake done because it was looking so strong.
It was. It totally was.
Don't think Max was expecting that pressure from Charles either.
No.
Probably caught him a bit off guard.
I think it did.
So that was a bit fun.
Especially you have to consider the Ferraris were so bad.
Yeah,
in
like
qualifying,
they were stinking.
They were horrible. So I don't think anyone was expecting the pace that they brought.
Although Charles did qualify in P2.
He did. He
So
managed to pull it
out.
back. Yeah, he managed to pull it back at the last minute.
Fastest man on one lap. Just saying it.
Wow.
But then I have nothing to lap 7.
Yep,
And it was just Russell and Oscar had a nice wee battle.
they did.
George was trying to go around the outside. Didn't make it stick till lap 11. And that was the battle for 4th.
Yep,
Bit of fun.
it is a little bit fun. Then the next note is Lando's terrible pit stop.
So Lando was up in 3rd, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a crucial pit stop because George
Yeah.
was going to be coming in at the sort of same time. And this is who he was battling.
Yeah.
Because George actually had some fucking pace on him.
He did. He was going quick.
So this pit stop needed to be good. And McLaren hold the world record. So
Exactly.
This is their thing.
They can pull out a 1.8.
5.1 seconds.
Definitely not a 1.8.
Like it was the most painful 5.1 seconds of my
Yeah.
life. Watching that car sat there.
Right.
And like I vaguely remember Lando's post-race interview that he just couldn't get it into gear or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't like the actual pit stop was messed up. It was the car and getting the car going again.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened, but that was
Horrible.
tragic. And inevitably that cost him the podium.
Yeah, because if you have a bad pit stop at the first one, it's like you can't really make it back.
And it was a close race. Like most of the racing was pretty
Yeah, it was all
packed
quite
in.
condensed, yeah.
So yeah, it was a bit disappointing that
Very.
early on.
Never mind.
And then I've got lap 15.
Yeah. So Pierre basically ruined it going into the corner. So he essentially brake tested Hamilton,
Yeah.
which is what I seen anyway. That's my personal opinion.
Lock up or brake test?
Well,
Leave up to
whatever
the jury.
floats your boat. But Hamilton got a bit of wing damage from this, and then Gasly basically was on the radio complaining for the next few laps that Lewis hit him.
Actually, like, I know Lewis whines a fair bit, but oh my god, Pierre, I don't think he's ever been like, oops, sorry.
No, never.
He's like, it's your
Right,
fucking
he's like,
fault.
I hate that guy. Like, what?
Just be like, oh well.
Honest.
Because it's like, I get in the heat of the moment as well, being angry, but then
Oh, for sure.
he carries it through to the post-race.
He's on the Instagram stories afterwards, posting
Indirecting
videos.
people like he's a 15-year-old girl on Snapchat. Okay, Pierre.
Honestly. Then the next lap jumps up to 38.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened between lap 15 and lap 38, but clearly nothing of
We
interest.
can only assume it was Max dominance because I do feel that's what it was.
I mean, if we've missed anything important, you can let us know.
Oh,
but-
do you know what we have? Mr. Yuki Tsunoda
Oh, God.
He led laps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yuki Tsunoda, the Yuki, number 22, led 2 or 3 laps of the Grand Prix? Or more than that?
Don't know, but it was thrilling.
More than 1 lap of the Grand Prix. Come on now. Come on. Unreal show from Yuki.
Yeah, that was his highlight of the season.
Yeah, it's up there for me.
It was pretty stunning.
It was unreal.
I was like, oh, I know realistically Max is going to take it back, but like,
I
oh
know,
my God.
but it was so exciting
Yuki
at the moment.
Tsunoda was to win Abu Dhabi 23.
I think I would have thrown up. Like,
Yeah.
I actually would have been so excited.
It was a good moment.
It was so good.
It just sounds like there's someone outside the window.
Just the Taco Bell bins.
Hello? Yeah, and then lap 38. So Fernando, he just goes a bit wide. And then basically he slows down because he wants Lewis to go in front of him so he can then get DRS.
Yeah.
But it looks a little bit more like Fernando's brake check Lewis. So Lewis is not having a good time. He's being shafted in this race.
Lewis really, he was stopped and started a few times.
But it's kind of funny from Fernando, to be honest.
It was a little bit funny.
Bit jokes.
Yeah.
He's such a clever man. Love you, Fernando. And then Carlos just kept dropping.
Yeah, lap 46 was kind of the start of the end for Carlos, really.
Because what happened, oh my God, this is me trying to bring this back from memory. So he was on hards.
Yeah.
And then they pitted him and put him on hards again.
Yeah, they did.
But if you don't know this, the kind of rule about, so you have to pit once, that's a rule.
Yeah.
And you have to use 2 different tyre compounds. So they pit him and put him on hards again. And I went, what the fuck? Because everyone was on a 1-stop. Or most people were on a 1-stop.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
basically Carlos got shafted by this 2-stop. And then so at the end, they hadn't pitted him. So what they did was pitted him with like 2 laps to go and retire the car.
Yeah,
because they'd cocked it up. Not only they cocked up Carlos's race, they cost him P4 in the championship.
Yeah.
And inevitably cost themselves P2 in the
Literally,
constructors.
yeah.
It was so stupid.
Honestly,
I don't know what happened.
No. And like the thing is, their strategy's been fairly sound the last few races. Like it really, I thought they were on the up and up, but this, I don't know what happened with them.
They were clearly focusing on Charles and just kind of
I think
abandoned
so.
Carlos. It was really poor actually.
It was.
It makes Ferrari make it very hard to be a Ferrari fan.
They do. It's a troubling life that we live.
I just feel conflicted all the time.
Yeah.
They've given me trust issues.
Definitely.
Deep-rooted trust issues. I'm going to become a McLaren fan. I'm going to convert. Williams fan?
Oh. Lap 47, 48. Checo and Lando have contact, which resorts in Checo getting a 5-second penalty.
Because basically, Checo just didn't turn. He just thought, nah.
He just kind of stopped.
So Lando turns and just Checo's there and hasn't moved.
Yeah, which is obviously not allowed. So
that was great.
Yeah, so he got a 5-second penalty, but that kind of like
that shook
decided
things up.
the race. Yeah,
because Checo was up in P3.
Yeah,
and Charles was in P2. And basically, what Charles did, he was big braining this because Carlos and Charles are their own strategists.
Yeah,
Charles decided, okay, well, if Checo's got this 5-second penalty, he's going to drop places, which means George, who's currently in P4, is going to move up and get those extra points.
Yeah.
Because at this point in the constructors, the difference between Mercedes and Ferrari was 3 points, I think, 3 or 4 points. So Charles goes, right, if I let Checo in front of me, hopefully he can get far enough ahead to be out with the 5 seconds.
Yeah.
He just did it a bit too late, though.
Yeah,
so unfortunately,
like it was a really good call, but it would have worked better if it was sooner.
Yeah, he left it a bit too late and it didn't work out, so Checo was bumped down and yeah. It was really disappointing because Charles really he was willing to sacrifice his P2 because naturally all Charles cares about is winning.
Yeah.
So he was ready to sacrifice that P2 to get Ferrari P2 in the constructors, but
never mind.
Heartbreaking.
Next year.
Yeah, sure.
We can only hope. And then
Yuki was driver of the day.
Yuki?
I voted Yuki driver of the day.
I did. I also voted Yuki
I think
driver of the day.
We're all pretty chuffed with that.
Yeah, he led the laps. And an Alpha Tauri, Yuki Tsunoda, led the race.
I want more of that next season.
Me too. Well, I think we'll get it because they're turning that Alpha Tauri basically into this year's Red Bull.
Yeah, allegedly.
I think they are.
Well, I sent you a picture of...
Oh, you did?
So what the AlphaTauri rear wing, I think it was like at the start of the season and what it looked like at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And it's slowly morphing into the Red Bull.
Yeah, it like morphed into the Red Bull. They even had the like the aero down the back of the car had like shifted to...
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Just saying.
For
Red
sure.
Bull Conspiracy Club.
We're back.
Brown.
We're in session.
Also, the battle for P4, because it was a 4-way driver battle for P4 in the championship.
Yeah.
Between Carlos, Charles, Lando and Fernando.
Yeah.
So it was Charles that got it?
I think it was. Fact checking.
I think it was... Basically, I really wanted it to be Carlos, because it's the only non-Red Bull to win a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
This season.
And I feel that he deserves it a little more, you know, because he's been putting in the work. Like, yeah, his car might have blown up a few times. Okay.
That's not his fault.
It's not his fault. I feel that he's been the more consistent Ferrari this year.
Yeah, I would agree. But in our season highlights, I've got things to go into on this.
Okay.
Driver standings, here we are. Come on, your Wi-Fi needs to pull through.
I'm so sorry, it's so terrible.
Can't cope with like more than one thing on
No, it can't. That's why I had to turn the TV off at the wall.
I believe I can see it on the preview. Lando was 6th, Carlos was 7th. So it was either Charles or Fernando in P4, but I think it was Charles. Yeah, it would have been, because Charles finished that race highest up. So Charles got P4 in the championship. It was a bit fucking jammy.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Never mind.
So that was a bit disappointing. I really wanted it to be Carlos or Lando, to be fair, with all his P2s.
That's true.
Max now has the 3rd most wins in F1 history, and he also led 1,000 laps in one season.
Which is mighty. Like, we can shit on Red Bull and we can shit on Max, but like, he is an incredible driver. Like, that's insane.
Also, after the race, Max did a wee interview talking about the RB19, and he cried, talking about being the last time of him driving it. This might have been before the race, actually. At some point in the Abu Dhabi weekend, he cried in an interview, and actually, like, his voice sort of broke, and it made me quite emotional.
That.
Oh my god, it made me so emotional. Bless him.
I'm gonna have to go and look that up.
I do love Max, and also after the race, Checo got summoned to the stewards for slagging them off on the radio. So funny. Don't think anything came of it.
He just had an absolute stinker of a race, and he was a bit raging about his penalty. So,
but it's funny, and that was the end of Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Now it's Steak F1 team kicks Sauber. Actually, must be the worst team name.
Silly.
Worst team name in F1 history, surely.
Yeah, because we thought like Haas, MoneyGram, whatever was bad, but like
at least whatever AlphaTauri comes up with now isn't going to be as bad as that. Racing Bulls in comparison is way better.
Oh, so much better.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Abu Dhabi.
There's your last and final 2023 Gals on the Pit Wall race review.
I'm quite emotional. That's the end of my first season.
I know, it's the end for you. This was your first cast.
This time last year, I didn't know anything about F1, nor could I have predicted the trajectory of this year for me.
I know.
It's been quite insane.
And to think this all started with a cocktail night.
And then next year, it's like a cult. We'll indoctrinate more people into it.
Oh, we have to. That's what I've been doing now. Yeah, I was indoctrinated. Now I have got a group of people involved.
Next year, it's the start of the season / launch party for season 2.
Yes,
Gals on the Pit Wall.
Exactly. And we're going to get our F1 Fantasy League up and running.
Yeah. I think I got P2 in the end this year.
Yeah, I was just after you.
Yes.
There we go.
That's my biggest achievement. Next year I'm winning.
Oh, bold claims.
Now I know what's going on.
But it'll
I'm
be
winning.
fun to see like how our listeners come out, because they might be more skilled than us.
Nah, no chance. Just saying. It's mine. I'm going to win this.
Okay. Well, she said it now. She can't take
Putting
it
it
back.
out there. I refuse. So, do you want to... We've got our little under £5 Secret Santa. Should we do that and then get into our season highlights?
Perfect.
We can just describe it for our audio listeners.
Perfect.
Rustling.
Jesus.
Christ.
Just knocked over a
Ta-da.
nutcracker. Ta-da!
Thank you very much. So yeah, under £5. Bit of a difficult budget.
It was an extremely difficult budget, I won't lie.
Don't know why we made life hard for ourselves.
I know.
Cost of living crisis and all that.
Well, that's it. But if you have been listening for a little while, you'll know that we decided to do an F1 under £5 Secret Santa for each other. And here we are.
Very exciting. Do you want to go first?
Okay.
cue the rustling into the microphone.
ASMR.
ASMR
Oh my
segment.
goodness, what is going on in here? Oh my god, you didn't.
I did.
Shut up.
Merch!
Guys.
Gals in the pit wall
look.
tote bag.
This is stunning.
This is the surprise launch of the merch.
Buy the.
If enough people want them.
we want multiples now. This is so cool. Thank you so
No problem.
much. Did you do the ironing thing?
No.
No.
No, I paid someone else to do it.
No.
You mental?
I had a bit of a crisis with a Christmas present the other week where I had to iron it and I burnt a hole through the top.
Yeah, I just accepted there was no way I was achieving that on my own. That was too complicated.
Literally. You're joking. Flying saucers!
Jazz's favourite.
I'm feral for these things.
Probably
Thank
the
you
only
so
person in the
much.
world who's feral for flying saucers.
Oh, I love them. Oh, delicious. Thank you so
No
much.
worries. I'm really bad at like reacting to presents because my outside demeanour does not reflect my inside feelings.
Yes.
It's the tism.
Mine has a little backstory
Ooh.
to it.
I love a story.
Yeah, I'll wait till you see it and then you can...
God, there's layers to this.
Yeah, sorry. You can probably just slide it out the top.
Stop.
Yeah, so it's a little print that you can pop on your wall or you can frame. So this is the 2023 season helmet and signed print.
That's so cool.
I thought this is your first year in Formula One. This is your first driver cast in Formula One. And this is just a little something to like remember your first season's cast by.
Thank you very much.
No
I love it. I have like a whole mishmash of things on my wall so I can put it up with
Yeah.
next to my Charles poster.
Show the viewers.
It's so funny because before we were filming this I was literally like, oh, I'd love to get a tattoo of one of the helmets. Just
Yeah.
because I think it'd be
Literally,
sick.
we were just talking about that. You'll have to show the viewers.
Yeah. Although it's a bit dark.
Well, maybe. They might be able to see it with the light though.
We can always Instagram
Yeah,
some
that's true.
pictures
Yeah,
at the
if you
end.
go over to the Instagram, we can pop those out.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
That was a little wholesome segment.
It was. That was so cute.
We did better than the drivers and their Secret Santa.
Yeah, we
Some of
did,
them
yeah.
were per Charles.
Please,
Charlotte.
can we just talk about Charlotte for a second?
If you've not seen it yet, you might want to skip past this bit because
Yeah.
spoilers. But basically, Charles had Joe.
Yep.
Charles gives Joe Valtteri Bottas's
Ass calendar.
But like, first of all, of course Joe's already got one because that's his teammate.
It's
Duh.
his teammate, obviously.
And I also feel like Charles probably got one for free.
Yeah, I reckon this was gifted by Valerie and he's re-gifted
Gifted
this.
it. So obviously Joe was like, oh, I don't really want it because I've got one. So
Yeah.
he sort of signs it and drew a picture and sent it back to Charles, who then signed it again and sent it back to Joe.
So awkward.
It's like,
He put no effort into that.
well, it's the same as like giving your own merch.
Yeah, like Yuki gave Lance a hat from his own collection, which, I mean, granted, Yuki's collection's so expensive that the hat was
True,
probably worth
designer.
it in the end. But, like, I mean, don't cop out.
Yeah, like I would have rather. Oh, this is like Daniel. So Daniel had Oscar.
Yeah.
Daniel gives Oscar a koala t-shirt and some sweets. At least give the boy some enchante.
In all fairness, though, I do feel that this was an awkward one to have pulled.
Yeah, it was a bit
Because
like.
he's having to give a gift to the boy that kicked him out of his seat.
And the better Australian driver of this season.
Terrible. Like, that's poor. You
Rookie
have to
of the
admit
year,
that's
Oscar
poor.
Piastri.
And the thing is, we know Daniel can give good gifts because he had Esteban last year and he got him like a customised Marvel kit thing.
Yeah.
So like we know Daniel can gift. Like you can tell there was no thought put
Like,
in because he doesn't like him all that much.
I think it's different giving something like an item from your own countries. For example, what Joe did for Yuki.
Yeah.
Where it was an apron with a really cool dragon print on it and a Chinese cookbook.
Yeah,
That's
which is
cool.
that- yeah.
because that's sharing part of your own culture.
As well as being personalised
Daniel
for Yuki.
has given another Australian a koala t-shirt
and some chocolate. Like that's so poor.
for Oscar. I mean, he's got quite a monotone, like laid back demeanour anyway.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to try and force like.
No,
"Wow!"
like, yeah, he was
But
still
it was
like,
just a bit like
grateful, but it must have been a bit like defeating. Like that's a shame.
Yeah,
Getting
bless.
gifted that. Never mind.
But no, there's some good ones. Alex gave Checo some Williams baby stuff for his
Yeah,
baby.
oh, that was really so
And Checo
cute.
actually was really grateful and was like, yeah, my daughter will wear that.
I know, because like when he was sorting through, he goes, oh, that's for my daughter.
So this is my new conspiracy that is now foreshadowing that Checo's going to end up at Williams.
There you go. I up and coming team.
It's written in the
James
stars.
Vowles is switching the things up in Williams at the moment, so
I think he'd be quite good in the Williams, to be honest.
I reckon he would be okay.
If it's got a bit of pace to it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's now we'll call it, they came 7th this year.
They did, yeah.
So we'll call it a mid-table car now.
Hmm.
Yeah, better than AlphaTauri.
That's true.
Probably is a fate better than if, say, next season Daniel gets swapped with Checo and they
Mhm.
tried to put Checo in the AlphaTauri. Going to the Williams is probably a better shout than being in the AlphaTauri, depending on if it's the Rocket
true.
RB19.
Because Checo might thrive in that, actually.
I feel like him and Albon would be good teammates.
Ooh.
Although I still think Albon's going to go elsewhere, but anywho.
Yeah.
But yeah, F1 driver's secret Santa. Successful. Actually, the best one was Max's.
Yeah, his was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what it was again. I remember it was good. It was like, he did the book for Valerie that was like an art book,
it was
but
like
he
a
put
personalised book
Valerie in his butt in all the pictures.
on all of the pages.
So that was nice.
Yeah, it was. That one was
And
cute.
Valerie's pretty chuffed with that.
Yeah.
No, there was some nice ones. Pierre got a tripod.
And he goes, no, I have two.
It actually gives me the bug, man. It doesn't even make me laugh. I'm just like, oh god.
It is a bit like full of dread. with
Straight
that.
white man humour. Oh god.
Honestly. Never mind. We've gotten to the end.
Yep. Season highlights.
Season highlights. So we've broken this down into
A few
categories. And then we've also got our personal top 5 moments. So our categories are most overrated, most underrated, biggest surprise, and worst crash.
And then just top 5 highlights overall.
Yeah.
Should we go for most underrated?
Yeah. I personally think that the most underrated this year was Yuki.
Okay, yeah.
Because he doesn't drive a good car. That AlphaTauri is not infamous for being a top running car, but he had it up there. He led the laps. He was consistent in his point scoring. It might not have been big points, but it was still consistent. So I'm going to say Yuki.
He held that team together this
He
year
did.
throughout all the
He
shit.
really carried it, but they had like 4 other drivers in the car at some point.
Yeah, so mine is, and I feel like people are going to hotly debate this. I have 2. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Now, this is, like, I'd say, a controversial pick because obviously they're highly rated. But in terms of this specific season, I'm going to say they're underrated. And I've got justification. Charles had very few races where something didn't go wrong. There's a thread on Twitter somewhere and I couldn't find it. And they literally mapped out everything that's happened in all the races. The fact that this man finished where he did in the driver's standings.
I suppose.
Phenomenal, despite where this has like all gone wrong.
Yeah.
But actually, Lewis Hamilton, 3rd in the driver's standings.
Yeah.
He was not talked about really at all this season. He was just consistent. Didn't win anything.
That's true.
Didn't really have many podiums either, to be honest.
No.
And still somehow is in P3. And I think that speaks volumes for the talent that man has.
I'll agree with Lewis. I won't agree with Charlie. I can't, because he gets so much hype and he's not been consistent at all this year, really.
I still think he's done a really good job.
Thumbs down.
But that's my controversial picks. And then most overrated.
George Russell.
Yeah.
He, like, everyone's like, oh, it's George, like, the Mercedes
He's
young
going to take over from
saviour.
Lewis.
But, like, where was he this year?
Yeah. Also, I'm going to put Checo into the mix.
Okay.
And it does feel like we're picking on them because these are probably 2 of the most unlike drivers on the grid, I would say, in my personal opinion.
Probably.
But my justification for Checo is actually from Alex Albon's interview. And he put it into perspective that Checo this season has done worse than what Alex did in the Red Bull. And Alex has been booted out.
That's so true, actually.
And I think,
that's true.
because I wouldn't have said Checo before watching that interview with Alex, and now I'm like, oh, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
I see this now.
Yeah.
So maybe, although he was shat on this year, so I can't call him
Yeah.
overrated.
And
But
I also, in the Red Bull Conspiracy Club, that I am the president of and founder of.
an only member currently.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I just think that there's no good way. He's done it all on his own. Because even if it was to be Red Bulls won every race of the season, if it was Red Bulls plural, I could have gotten behind that.
Yeah.
Because if it was a really good battle between the two of them to see who was going to win the championship, fun, I'll get behind that. It's fun to see someone that's not Max win. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I think it was intentional.
But Joe, it will be fun to, like, in the future to tell the younger generations of F1 fans that we witnessed F1 in the Max dominance era.
That's true, because we missed the Lewis dominance era because we are newer viewers to the sport. So,
and also, like, all these records that Max and Red Bull have broken this season,
it's
unreal. As much as like we like to sit and shit on them, like, it is impressive.
It is very impressive.
There's no words to describe how amazing it's been.
Yep. Very true.
And then biggest surprise of the season, what's yours?
Mine is Daniel Ricciardo breaking his wrist.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's an old driver. He knows to take his hands off the steering wheel if he's going to hit the wall. That was a shock to me.
It was a big surprise considering he'd been back, 2 races?
Exactly. This man had come back 2 races and he's off because he broke his wrist.
Because not only has he come in mid-season as a replacement for Nick who got fucking booted out, which is still a shame.
Big shame.
Then it all goes tits up anyway.
Yeah, so...
My biggest surprise actually adds on to that because mine was Liam Lawson.
Yeah, he was class. He
not
was
only
so good.
him coming in was a big surprise to replace Daniel, like all of that happening, but how well he did.
He did so well.
Getting points.
Right.
Like those 4 races were phenomenal. If he is not in a car or signed by the end of 2024, I'm rioting.
Facts.
Unless he's replacing Logan.
Then we'll be rioting for another reason.
But like Liam needs to be in F1.
Yeah, he does.
No doubt about it.
He's proven his skill.
Although then you could have the other side of the argument, which is the whole Nick de Vries
that was one
driving
race,
for Albon.
though.
Yeah, true. Liam had 4?
Yeah, Liam had 4 and he was consistent in each race.
And he got them points.
Yeah.
So
we know that he can do it. Like, Nick de Vries had one amazing race. Like, we can't take away from that. Like, it was a really great race. And I don't think he was given enough time to show himself.
So it just made me think of the fact that Logan came 21st in the driver's standings.
Bless
in a sport that only has 20
his
drivers
oh,
on the grid.
God. At least they finished with points.
For Logan, we do love you.
We do.
We're going to become your biggest fans. We are your biggest fans.
Yes.
Top 5 highlights? Oh no, we've got worst crash.
We've got worst crash.
I think there's one unanimous decision for this.
Lance Stroll in Singapore.
That made me feel
Mighty.
sick.
Yeah, that one was horrid.
He came off the ground, he spun. Everything around the sort of safety pod in the car disintegrated.
Yeah.
And then not only that, as this is all happening, Oscar comes round the turn, and when you see the clip of like the sort of overhead, you see how close he was. Like,
the whole thing was horrible.
And then second to that would be Lando in Vegas.
Yeah, that was
because that
huge.
just went on for miles.
It did, but it was so quick at the same time. Like, it happened in the blink of an eye, but like it really was like he went far.
Yeah, but Lance's one, that made me feel sick.
That was horrid to watch.
And actually, it was quite good in this season in that there wasn't actually that many big crashes.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a relatively safe season.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Now, top 5 favourite moments. What's your number 1? Or are we starting at 5?
5.
Okay.
Mine is Belgian Elton John.
Nice.
It's for those of you who didn't tune in for the Belgian national anthem, we talked about it in the podcast.
We definitely did.
It was what we can only describe as Belgian Elton John. It was my favourite anthem of the season. And he was wearing this cape that was like, I can't describe the size of it. It was huge. It was like the size of the Dakota flag. Like it was
it went for miles.
Massive. And there were all these people like holding on to it. And, oh my God, it's just so funny. I've never enjoyed a national anthem so much.
It was quite good. I'll give you that.
It was like, it's the only one, or one of the only ones that's stuck in my brain. That was so funny to me.
Yeah. My number 5 was every time Mick Schumacher was calling the broadcast.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
That was my 5th favourite thing this season.
Joe, it was pretty good.
It was.
And
I like a little Mickey moment.
Yeah, and he's having a wee glow up over the course of season 2.
He really
that
has.
Was fun.
Phenomenal.
My number 4 is... Where's my number 4? I have a joint number 4.
Ooh, okay.
So my 2 number 4 ones are Esteban on the Monaco podium. Esty Bessie's on the podium, baby.
Yeah, that was a goodie.
That was a good moment. And Lando leading his laps at Silverstone.
Yes.
That was a good
That
moment.
was really, really good.
And the crowd roar. I mean, I knew people who were there, and they said it was just amazing.
Oh, I could only imagine.
So that was my number 4 was joint.
Okay, I'll take it. My number 4 was the boy with the ukulele at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix at the national anthem.
Yeah.
You laugh, but he carried that.
He did.
The girl who was supposed to be singing, she lost it. And this boy, he kept his cool and he sang and he smiled the whole way through.
Yeah, they really should have just had him sing it.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, they should have
Next year.
sacked her off. Yeah, get the ukulele boy back next year.
He was like 7 as well.
Yeah, he was
Wee
young.
lad. Bless him. Very cute.
Wee cutie.
Number 3, Oscar sprint win in Qatar.
Very good.
Phenomenal moment.
Very, very good.
What a season for Oscar.
It
Oscar's
really was
whole
a good
rookie
one.
season is a highlight for me.
Yeah, definitely.
As a Piastri fan, it couldn't have really gone any better. And not that this is not from me, but this has, been said in the universe. Best rookie season since Hamilton's. That's the word on the street. That's what people are saying.
Word on the street.
So if the hype for Oscar wasn't already enough
Word
coming
on
into
the
this
pit
season,
wall.
the hype's even bigger going into next season.
Exactly.
Future world champion. Like I'm so sure of it.
I can see it happening.
I feel it in my bones.
Yes. So true. To be fair though, they did say that about Lando and he got stuck at McLaren forever, so
But it's still on the cards for Lando.
we can only hope.
It's gonna come one day.
Fingers crossed.
When everyone else starts retiring.
Oh god, Lando's like 42 getting his first win. My number 3 was actually Liam Lawson getting his point straight off the bat.
Yeah.
I think that was like such a cool moment just to see a rookie come in and just like blast through it like that. I thought that was a good one.
And he a beloved rookie as well.
Yeah, exactly.
People love Liam Lawson.
Everyone loves Liam Lawson. He's got a YouTube channel now.
I've been watching that. Oh my god, that's been keeping me together through exams.
Yeah, no,
the
it's
Liam
been really
Lawson
good.
daily vlogs.
Yeah, so good. It's like Vlogmas.
Got me back into watching YouTube videos again.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's so good.
Number 2, Singapore.
Okay.
One of the best weekends of my life.
Yes.
So it was my 21st birthday, and I kept joking. I was like, 21st birthday, gonna bring the magic, Ferrari win. Kind of hoping for a Charlotte win,
We'll take what we can.
And we'd come off the back of Monza, where it was looking really good, and we were so close, but not quite.
Yep.
And then Singapore came round. I think it's my favourite track. The whole weekend was just phenomenal. Love a night race.
It wasn't even the Singapore we know and love as well, because they shut part of the track off.
It was just, and everything came together. It was like the perfect weekend for Carlos.
Yeah.
It was such a good feeling, and being surrounded by a lot of the people that I love and watching the race together and sharing that moment, and then coming around and seeing you and then sharing that moment. Oh,
it was perfect.
and now I've got the tattoo to remember it, so I will remember that for the rest of my life.
It was great.
Yeah. What was yours?
My number 2 was this being Lando's comeback year.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's kind of trailed off. And do you know what? We were all feeling bad for Lando. But here he is. On his way back. I'm glad that he's got some life back in him and that his motivation's gone up. I'm happy for him.
And he's hot now. Sorry, that's not anything to do with that.
It might not be
but
relevant, but it's relevant.
He's just glowing up in all areas of his life.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
And my number 1, starting this podcast with you.
Oh, stop. I'm going to get emotional.
I was writing that last night. I was like, Jazz, I love that. But it is. This is
Oh, I'm tearing up.
part of what made this season so good is at the end of every race, or at least the second half of this season, because we didn't do this in the first half, but sitting down and doing this. Oh God, don't cry.
I can't cry again today.
It's been an emotional day for Jazz. It's just that this is the end. Oh, Jazz! I take it back.
Don't take it back. That's just so nice.
So that's my season highlight.
Aww.
Doing this, and I'm so excited to carry on and then do next season as well from the top.
It has been so good doing this, and it's been so great watching you fall in love with this sport.
And we've only improved, I'd say, as we've done this. We've learnt a lot. I'm getting there with the video, but the audio editing and the media stuff, and then that sprouting into me doing TikTok and making the friends that I have and all of that.
And it's been so great watching you achieve all of this stuff.
Finally have a passion. Just getting out of uni.
So great.
So yeah, that was my highlight.
Well, my number one's shit now. It's fucking Carlos winning in Singapore. Whatever, it's shit.
Wow.
We'll move on. I'm sorry, I've just slagged you off. But I love you, Carlos, and I'm so proud of you. That win was brilliant.
Yeah.
But that was shit now in comparison.
That was such a special weekend in amongst the Max dominance.
Yeah. Oh, it was so brilliant. Like, I think about that so often.
Yeah, Roman
Like,
Empire.
all the time. Yeah, literally. Because, like, he's the only non-Red Bull to have won. Unreal.
Put some respect on my man, Oscar's name.
Unreal. Well, that was a sprint.
Still a race. Still counts. Actually, I just thought of something else that random popped into my head about Charlotte being underrated for this season.
Mm-hmm.
The only driver, this is the stat, you might correct me on this, but this is a stat. The only driver to perform overtakes on Max this season, like successful overtakes, was Charles.
That's true.
Just saying. I keep
That's
doing
true.
this episode, but just wanted to add that into the fact that.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Just saying, Charles.
We'll take it.
But that's like everything we had. I don't want to end this like.
I know, because this is our little festive Christmas special. Actually, we maybe should mention what we're drinking.
Oh yeah, we've got a bit of Lewis Hamilton Almave. It's not for me.
It really tastes and smells like tequila, though.
It smells foul. Like, I don't like tequila.
It smelled like, open a bottle of tequila, this is what it
and
smells
it's
like.
non-alcoholic, which is why I bought it.
No alcohol in it.
I think if I make it into a margarita, this is now the second time I've tried it.
Yeah.
I've tried it straight and I've tried it with lemonade in it. I think if I was to make it into a margarita, I might like it more.
For sure. I think this in a margarita
I think that
would be
needs
great.
to be, I think it needs the salt, I think it needs the lime, I
Yeah.
think that's what we're missing. So that's what I'm going to do over
Because
Christmas.
it's good with the lemonade, don't get me wrong.
And I've had a reaction video of me trying this for the first time with Alice, and I want to add in the clip of you trying it.
Yep.
Recorded for the longest time. And TikTok won't let me post it because it breaches community guidelines because TikTok thinks it's an ad.
And it's not an ad. We're not sponsored.
I
we'll make that
wish.
expressively clear. Lewis Hamilton has not sponsored us.
I wish Lewis Hamilton was sponsoring us.
Me too.
But I spent my own money on this bottle, and TikTok are like, no. And I'm in a fight with fucking customer service over this. I'm like, listen.
So TikTok, put the video back up, please.
Because now if they put it up, it's going to be buried underneath all my current videos.
We're going to have to repost.
So I need to try and figure this out.
Yeah.
But clearly my editing or my presenting of this video is so good.
It's just too good.
That it looks like it's an actual ad, despite it
Facts.
being in like 360p quality.
Yeah. Never mind.
So I'm upset. Just on a tangent. TikTok got beef.
Well.
Wow. End of the season.
End of the season.
We'll have some bonuses. We're going to do some pre-season predictions.
And a little, like, starter kit to F1 for those of you who are not too well versed.
Yeah, because we know there's going to be people getting into it for the first time.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
also some of our lovely friends who are supportive for the podcast have no idea what we're talking about.
Exactly. Or even if you do know what we're talking about.
A bit of a
might
refresh.
need a recap. Yeah, a little refresh going into the season.
You might not know the intricate details, so we're going to...
Exactly. Give it a good go.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's it.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Happy
Merry Christmas.
holidays if you're not a Christmas celebrator. And if you're not a holiday goer, I just hope you have a great week.
Yeah. Enjoy some time off,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing.
Enjoy some time off. Have a fun time.
God, this is so sad.
I can't believe this is the last episode of season 1.
I know, we're acting like we're not going to record another episode in 2 weeks, but
Yeah, never mind.
so emotional about it. I'm going to cry editing it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've already cried filming, so that's how good it's going.
Well, there you go.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Season 1.
Do we cheers?
Oh, yeah. Bottom. Yeah.
That was good.
Satisfying.